Grassroots Show. Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Show. That was obviously what we were trying to do there. You can see the SoundCloud is playing up a little bit to DXTL TV from the touchline, so they'll hear that twice on SoundCloud. You'll hear it once where I'm saying good evening or good morning, whatever it is. Anyway, regardless of that, I hope you've had a great Friday, Saturday, and now you're into Sunday. I hope you've had a fantastic day today. Okay, the rain returned. We know that it was glorious yesterday. Can't believe how we can have, like, Friday wasn't too bad, into Saturday, which was glorious, and then, well, when I say glorious, it was nice. It was nice. You had the sunshine coming a little bit later on, but what can we do? Friday was unbelievable. Now, that would have been too hot for grassroots football games, wouldn't it? But yesterday was great, and that was the start of some leagues, not all leagues, in the Winter League 24-25, and today sees the start of the majority as well on the Sunday League. So, well done to everyone. Congratulations to each team who got together and managed to put a team together to play in your junior league. So we wish you all a very, very best of luck throughout now and the future, as well as our referees as well. And whenever you go out to play your game of football, please respect on and off the field of play. We still need to keep our referees within the game, and obviously we'll be walking around and about and talking. Now you can see consequences now from the county FAs with everything that they're setting up on. And do you know what? I'm losing touch with the likes of your county FAs and all that now. They seem to be concentrating more on respect in grassroots football and having more ideas and coming up with their code of conduct. And it used to be all the time I was getting phone calls every other day and emails, but now they're taking a back seat because obviously they've got their new thing and you can see what's happening. But at the end of the day, don't cross the line, won't go away. It's always nice at the start of the season, but you watch towards the middle of the season, there'll be different things happening. Now, how are you getting on with the no heading of the ball? I'd love to hear from you. mal@untexttheline.com. Only first games today, so I can imagine all the new teams are all bedding in a little bit, and the new referees, welcome aboard by the way to all the new young referees who are out and about there earning a penny or two and having their first games. I hope they've all been looked after over the weekend. There's some great managers out there, they will look after them, and obviously let's just hope that these referees, the young referees, are coming and they're here to stay, because there's many disappeared. They come one season, 2 seasons if that, and they disappear. It takes the die-hard ones, you know what I mean, like Callum Sutton. He's brilliant, he's there week in, week out, day in, day out. He knows what he wants. He is really interested in getting into the Premier League, and why shouldn't he be? Because he's a cracking little referee, and there's many of you good referees out there as well. So let's look forward to the future and the season ahead, and let's just hope that everyone's got the message. If you haven't told your parents, as coaches, managers, have a little chat to them and say, look, leave the coaching to myself, don't shout over them. In the training as well, you'll see what we work on. We want to try and work on that on the weekend when they're playing in their league games. We want to make sure that they're all enjoying themselves and all got smiles on their faces. But we don't want parents taking over from the manager and the coach, telling their child where to play, where to be, what to do, who to pass to, when to shoot, and that's 9 times out of 10 shoot. You hear all that, and obviously you have to blame it Premier League for that. Have you heard them all? Now come on, you see a player with the ball and he gets near the penalty area, the penalty box, and what happens? Shoot! So that's happening again in grassroots football. So there's no really encouragement of where to pass and what to do there, is there, you know? So is that brought down to the grassroots level and we're all starting to shout, shoot? Well, they've been to that for years, and no matter where they are, they just want to see their child score a goal. But it's not about that, and you feel sorry for the coaches and the managers who are working on it and getting the kids to try and pass and move, and that's what it's all about, development in football. And if they can do that, brilliant. And we've been talking over the last few days, haven't we, regarding grassroots football, the cost, the prices of it, you know, the amount you all have to pay as a team, there's a lot happy with that. We know that the reasons they're happy with it because the money is coming into clubs, so they're not shy of money, so they're not going to sign no petition of mine, regardless, unless something dramatic happens, or the government back us up and we get funding, and then they'll sign a petition saying, can we apply and try and get some of this funding as well. You can see the way that would go. But obviously the die-hard supporters, we look at people who are really, really understanding what we're talking about. You know, we're not against anyone except the governing bodies who are really increasing prices and making it hard for the kids. We just want a funding pot. We're looking for a funding pot, whereas disadvantaged children can tap into, make it nice and simple, nice and easy. Not with the governing bodies, because what happens, you get these funding pots and then suddenly you've got to be a member of this, you've got to do that, you've got to do that to make sure that you can enter into the funding pot. And, you know, I think some of these organisations who work grassroots football for years and years and know the inside out of the game and know what teams require it, because some teams just do not need any supplements at all, shall we say. They have great sponsors, they have good parents, good income coming in there who can all support them and spend out. But there's a lot that we're looking into in grassroots football, and you may have your ideas as well. So why not get in touch with myself, Mal at too.REFspect.com. And you can hear a little bit horsey, it hasn't gone yet. Bit of a, well, let's say the COVID went onto my chest, but I'm okay, I'm all clear, I'm here, but I give the kids obviously the Friday off due to me having COVID. They wanted to come back in, so next week we'll have a little chat, get together and see what the future brings for our young commentators as well, what they're planning. Looking forward to having a chat with Dan, who've been in touch, Ben and Jaden, and they're about 9 foot tall now, and they're going to give their stories, what they're planning on, what they're looking forward to, and also how we can get together and make a difference as well with our young commentators. And we want to try and put in for more funding as well to help out what we're trying to do, so the young commentators can get out and about and do their little thing as well with the grassroots show on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday days. So we're talking about signing our petition in grassroots football. You're all back, or the majority are back. Some leagues are back next week. So we wish every single team and committee and referee all the very, very best of luck throughout the 24-25 season. Let's hope everything works out well. We know there'll be teams falling, we know there'll be problems as we carry along. I couldn't get out this weekend because I've been busy working, would you believe? I'm doing more hours and I've had the COVID, so I've been off with that. And I'm doing more hours to coincide with my holiday that's coming up the middle of September, and I'm away back to Cyprus. So yeah, and I'm wishing my grandson all the very best today, his first game back. They've just come back from Cyprus and they arrived back around about 3 AM and up for the game this morning, fingers crossed. Looking forward to it now. Jet lagged, which 9 times out of 10 you really are. You've got to catch up on your sleep because Cyprus is 2 hours ahead, and it always affects me when I come back. I'm like this, but look at it, we're motoring into Christmas already, and to me, dear me, that is flying, it really is. So all we're asking for is right the way through the season, please put this in your diaries, and we're aiming for April 24-25 for our Respect Awareness Weekend. I've got the dates there, I'll be putting them into the PGMOL next week, and it's nice to know that they've teamed up with the PFA, and obviously the PFA have teamed up with us for our t-shirts and making sure that we can really do this Respect Awareness Weekend coming in April. And it's really baffling in April. I've looked at all the dates and you can see, and we've got derby games in the midweek, but we haven't got games beforehand and we haven't got games after. It just is so awkward to try and pick those dates. I was going to try and coincide our Respect Awareness Weekend in the middle of that week if we possibly could, but it didn't coincide for the weekends ahead because it's some of the leagues are off, Grand National weekend, yes, and leagues have cancelled because it's a very, very busy weekend, as we all know, here in Liverpool on the Grand National. So we've had to look at it, and obviously we don't want to step on the feet of Hillsborough as well, because that is in April, as we all know. So we have to take a little stock of the situations and look at what's on and what's not on, so we can pick our weekend, and hopefully the PGMOL will then verify it and say, okay, we'll go for that weekend. So we'll be in touch and let you know exactly what weekend that is, and we're asking all the teams to get together and try and do something to support our referees, support each other, REFspect on and off the field of play. Don't cross the line, that's what it's all about, not crossing the line, and bringing people together. Because we've been doing that since 2003. People who know us will know what we're all about, and we have a zero tolerance towards verbal abuse, aggressive behaviour, racist comments and bullying within grassroots football. Now we're hoping to get 1 or 2 teams together, leagues together. We're going into partnership with them, and I'm looking forward to teaming up with the John O'Leary League in Kirby. Yes, I want to see how we can make that one work. They're all on board with us. We want to go into partnership and make sure that all the parents and grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles all behave while the kids are all playing their game of football on grass pitches, would you believe? Yes, and that starts next week, and we're looking for some referees as well. Mal@too.REFspect.com. Mal, you can get in touch with me on social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites, and then we'll work together. We'll work together. And I think my voice is going, as you can all hear in the background. I thought it was okay until I started talking, and you heard me on Friday when I had a fit of cough, and I don't know how I got through the show, but I eventually got through the show. Saturday was okay. Sunday, today, after work, I'm here, but I couldn't make it out to any leagues, but I'll be back up and running next weekend. No doubt we'll have some feedback and see what sort of organisations are putting up posts and referees, how the games went, and how did your game go. We'd love to hear from you. mal@untexttheline.com. Let me know what you think. What's it cost your team as well to register within a league? Not just the league, obviously the whole team's fees. Are they affordable? Are you okay? Can you take your team away, maybe abroad, to go and play in a tournament? And I like clubs who try and organise tournaments abroad and try and keep concessions and prices down, the cost, like we're doing there with the petition. We're looking at the hubs, because the hubs are way too overpriced. £51 a quarter pitch for under 5-a-sides for 1 hour. That's scandalous, it really is. Yes, you can do it cheaper, £35 I think it is, off peak, but many teams cannot get off peak. They really can't, because of school work, and when the holidays come, it's not off peak, then it goes up. So, you know, where do you draw the line? So please sign our petition. We're trying to push for change, and we're trying to get more funding towards grassroots football, and I'm waiting to see what the government say to me, because a letter's gone in with support from one of our local MPs, Dan Carden, and I appreciate him backing Don't Cross the Line, the work that we're doing, and we're trying to achieve things that no other have. But we want people to team up rather than going on their own way and saying, let's do this, let's do that. Like, there's organisations out there that I've worked with, and obviously they've gone their own way because they think they can do better, or they are trying to do better and make things their own things. But if you look back over the years with our No Ref, No Game, Don't Cross the Line, REFspect, you name it, everything that we're doing is always something that is original and unique, and then someone else will take that message away and everyone will just bang the drum on respect. And I fought for REFspect as well, nearly going to court. I know the FA didn't fight for the respect, everyone's using that, so it really is hard. There's a company that actually own that, and I think they did try to take the FA to court over it, so they backed off and just done their own little thing. So we've done names before, it Don't Cross the Line, REFspect. We're making a difference within grassroots football. We want you to enjoy the game itself, and we want referees to enjoy the game. That's what we set up Don't Cross the Line for, because that was way back in 2003 when no one was doing anything to support the referees within the game itself. Now there's a lot of organisations who don't want to team up now, who'll back off and do their own little thing, and many of them are businesses as well. So if you can look up what sort of business that they do, how much money that they're making, they can give freebies away. but you can also make a lot of money as well. And that's what we're looking for in grassroots football. It seems to be going towards the Premier League now, where it's being very, very rich indeed. We used to call horse racing the sport of kings. Yeah, we may still do, but you start looking at grassroots football now, and you start thinking, are we changing now? Is grassroots football becoming the sport of kings? Because of the cost, because of the prices, because you're paying out for courses, you're paying out for your affiliation, your league fees, your pitch fees, your referees, also your insurance. There's a million things that you have to pay out for before you can get that team going. And we know those teams folded. Obviously we'll get the figures off that, because we folded 2 teams ourselves with DXTL, and that was me. Obviously looking into all the admin that you have to do, and boy am I so happy that I don't have to do all that now. I was doing a lot of admin for governing bodies because they're paid jobs, and you have to send all your admin as a volunteer in to leagues, and then leagues forward it on to FAs, or no, they don't. That used to be the case. They used to have all the scorecards. Remember them simple scorecards where you just put everything down and people just check them, and team names, give you score, and at the end, the league, bang, that was it, all done. Now it's the whole game system with admin fees. I'm not too sure whether many leagues are still doing their own thing on the cards, I'm not too sure. Or has it now gone to the whole game system? Every league is working off that possibility. And there's a lot of committees don't like it. Well, I think they do like it because it's easier for them. It's the teams, it's the managers that I talk to, and I think, wow, they've got a lot of hard work ahead of them there, and they're only volunteers. And that word volunteer makes a difference. Look at everything, volunteers. Yeah, people will go out, and I'll be a volunteer myself and try and help people in different ways. But the likes of this in football, it's basically run by volunteers, and there's a lot of people getting very, very rich on the back of those volunteers. And it goes without saying. Look at the clubs, look at the fees they're charging, signing on fees, subs, they're all rising, and it's always saying it's the cost of what we've got to pay out, but you have to get your own sponsor as well. And I know some clubs out there will bring in their own sponsor and keep the prices down, and we'll be working with those clubs throughout, and we'll give you some feedback as to what they're doing to help disadvantaged children within their clubs. And there is some, and we'll get the feedback, and we'll start nominating them, honestly, and maybe we'll look at an award for one of these leagues, should I say clubs, who are doing everything in their power to make it easier and more profitable for the parents to join their club. And a lot of in there just to make sure that the kids do enjoy it. We've been talking about the percentage of kids making it into the big world. Now, we all know someone who's in the academy. There's a lot of kids in academy teams there. And because you're in the academy does not mean that you are going to make it to the big time. Now, we've known kids being there for 5 years and then released towards the end. Devastation is not the word, because they've left all their school friends, all the football friends on the weekends to go to academies. So we need to look into all that as well, because there's levels in grassroots football, as we all know. Some kids are better levels than others. It doesn't mean that those kids who are a better level than the others are going to make it into the big time either. So we're looking at the fun side of things, and we're looking at teams that will never make it now. I can talk to coaches and managers out there, and they will tell me who has a chance and who hasn't got a chance. We all know, honestly, in grassroots football, you tend to know. Some parents out there will always think that their child's going to be the big time, going to be the best in the world, and they just can't see that it's not going to happen, it's never going to happen. But you don't want to disappoint those parents, but the parents should understand themselves. You should understand the development of the child, and there's nothing to say that that child will not be a late developer and make it into the big time later on in life. There's nothing at all. But you have to bring the best out in them now, and unfortunately they're all getting swooped on, snapped up, taken into clubs, and then released further down the line. So, you know, it's one of those things there that we all need to stick together, work together in grassroots football, and join that circle to make sure that everyone's happy and everyone is getting a fair crack of the whip. as they say. Okay, thank you very, very much indeed for tuning into the Grassroots Show over the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. I really appreciate it. Respect wherever you go. Don't forget, we'll be back on Friday evening with our young commentators. Can't wait to fill you in with everything that's going on. We look forward to meeting you, look forward to having a really, really good time together. In the meantime, from myself, Mal Lee and all the team here, the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, Respect Programme, No Ref, No Game, Hearts of Gold initiatives, and our petition as well for more funding in grassroots football. Don't forget to sign. You can see that if you look back on DXTL TV from the touchlines. From myself, Mal Lee and all the team here at the Grassroots Show, we'll see you on Friday evening with our young commentators. Have a great evening. Good night, God bless.